Hello, all my Be in Demand listeners. It is time to celebrate because this is episode 200, and there are some changes that I am excited to share with you. So let's all celebrate together. Let's get on to the show. Are you a coach, consultant, or service provider who's frustrated with the growth of your business? You're in the right place. I'm your host, Laurie-Ann, and you're listening to Be in Demand, where I talk about how to leverage speaking opportunities to grow your business, get positioned as the expert, and monetize your expertise. Let's get on to the show. I am so excited. This is such a milestone. I'm pretty sure I celebrated when I reached 100 because that was it took me 2 years to get there. And here we are at 200. 3.5 years later, here I am crossing the 200 mark, and some really wonderful things I'm going to share with you, some changes that are coming, some of my most downloaded episodes, the one that I refer to the most. But let's get started with all of that. The first thing that I want to share with you is I looked at my stats, and I did go from Libsyn to Captivate. Captivate is the platform that sends out my podcast to all the wonderful places. There are roughly a little over 26,000 downloads. And when I realized that, because I did keep track of my stats from Libsyn, and when you move over to another platform, they just kind of start from zero. So I did have to go back and look everything up and add those together. 26,000. That was so fun to actually realize and see that. That's with 200 episodes. That's way over 100 episodes that are downloaded. Each episode is downloaded over 100 times, which is so fun. And I've been able to reach a lot of people. I hear from people, and if you're one of the people who has DM'd me over on Instagram or sent an email through my website, then you know that I'm the person who answers you, and it's not a team member, it's not a bot, it's actually me. And the reason for that is because I want to stay connected to my audience. And it's very important to me. Even when I'm speaking physically in front of an audience, I want to be connected. That's why you'll never see me behind a podium. And I always tell all my clients, you never want anything between you. Give me the handheld microphone. Let me walk around the room and connect with people. Really good eye contact, answering questions. But connection is just one of my highest values. So 26,000 downloads, that was just thank you, thank you, thank you. That number would not have been possible without you. So let me share with you some of the changes that are coming. As of this week, you're going to see 2 episodes a week. Yes, as of 200, that's how I'm celebrating. I'm going to be sharing more information with you. But I'm also going to be sharing different information with you. And the different shows that I'm going to be adding on to the menu of different episodes is a way for you, my audience, to actually become involved in the show. So more on that. So 2 episodes. So here are the type of episodes and ways that you can participate a little bit more. One of them is they're going to be Q&A calls. I get questions all the time. And so I'm going to start answering them as these short, concise episodes that are just focused on answering that question. So that's going to actually start this week. You're going to hear one of those Q&A sessions. And if you have a question that you want answered, you don't even have to DM me. You can just go to the form, and submit your question. And if you leave your name and your website, and if you have a podcast, make sure you tell me your podcast. I will actually give you a shout out on my show. So you can do that at speakandstandout.com/QA. That link is going to be down in the show notes as well. So Q&A calls are going to be short, sweet, to the point. And again, this is a way for you, my audience, to participate in the show. So wouldn't it be fun to hear your question and have you being shouted out on my podcast and being able, your question is going to help more people. So again, that is speakandstandout.com/QA. And you can submit your question to hear on a future episode. Another thing I'm going to be doing for people are these speaker breakthrough sessions. These are going to be like these free 20 to 25-minute coaching calls. I know that you have a question about speaking that's like more than the Q&A. You're just like, I don't know if fill in the blank. I don't know, like, if there's any audience, that would benefit from my expertise. I don't know, like, how would somebody like my specialty, how do I get started in speaking? What would I even say? I want to help you get rid of those questions, get rid of those hurdles, get rid of those speed bumps that are preventing you from getting out there and leveraging speaking opportunities. Because if you're not using speaking, you are leaving so much money on the table. And the reason why you've heard me say this before, but one of the reasons why I love speaking is that when you get booked as a speaker, whether it's in person or virtually, like all eyes on you. It's not like social media where we're scrolling. Oh, and there's a pretty picture, or there's a cat, doing a cute little dance, or a baby elephant, or somebody's got some brightly colored, we live in a very distracted world. But when you're booked as a speaker, all eyes are on you. Everybody's listening to you. And one of the things about my program, In Demand Signature Speech, is that I teach you how to grab their attention and keep their attention the entire time that you're up there. But with speaking, everybody who said yes to spending time with you, they have the problem that you are solving. They are curious about your talk, about your specialty. How can you help them? So everybody that's in your audience is a hot lead, essentially, whether they're a really great lead right now or a little bit down the road. You just never know. But somebody who's interested, they are already raising their hand by saying, like, I want to be here and I want to listen to you. So captive audience, folks. So if you have a question and you would like to have some world-class coaching, 20 to 25 minutes, it's a free call. This is not a sales call. You're going to get coaching around whatever it is that you bring to the call. Now, these episodes, we're going to help other people. And you're going to get strategies and tips and real information, real guidance that you can actually use and implement right away. Because I am a big fan of making sure that you walk away with gold nuggets. You can ask any of my clients. Like, I always make sure that it is something that you can implement. And as far as like when it comes to speaking, I always make sure, like, that's just one of my values, is that it's not a complicated system. I want you to leave with information, strategies, and tips that you can implement right away. And your coaching session is going to help other people. And you're going to learn from other people who are being coached. So those are the other episodes that I'm so excited to bring on. And yes, you're probably wondering, how do I get on one of these calls? Because like, why wouldn't you want some world-class coaching and then be able to shout out your business from my podcast? So those episodes, you can book those. There's an application process followed by the booking. And you can go to speakandstandout.com/SBS, which stands for Speaker Breakthrough Session. So Speaker Breakthrough Sessions, I think it's going to be one of my favorite episodes because it's going to help so many people. And the next thing that I'm adding to the mix here are community calls. They are mini trainings where you can like sign up for this. This is only going to happen once a month. There's going to be a topic that I'm going to do a training on, and it'll be a short training, like 15, probably around 15, maybe 20 minutes. I'll answer any questions that you have on the topic that I've shared. And then we're going to do some networking. Like, you'll be able to shout out, this is who I am, a little bit of using, this is kind of speaking, using your elevator pitch. You're going to share with other people, here's what I do. If you have a podcast, fantastic. If you don't have a podcast, it's not required. And then you'll just shout out like, here's my business, here's my website, here's what I do, and if you don't have a website because you're not an online business, maybe you are working in corporate and you are using and listening to my podcast because you know how effective speaking is to build your personal brand. You can just give a shout out to the company that you're working for and your position and what you do. So those are going to be these community calls. I don't really have a fancy name for the community calls right now, but that's something that we'll probably decide on during our first call. So come and join us for the first call. The first 2 months, May and June, those dates are already up, so you can sign up. But here's the caveat. It is limited. Like, I cannot have 100 people join the community call and be able to do the training, answer all the questions, and then be able to have everybody introduce themselves. The little bit of speed networking. And you can sign up for those calls now and see what the dates are. Sign up for the one or sign up for both. But you can go to speakandstandout.com/community. So that link, again, will be down below in the show notes. So I just, with 200 episodes, it was hard to pick some of my favorite episodes. But I can tell you the one episode that I refer people to the most. There's a couple of them. And one of them is The Power of Three. This one I refer more people to, and it's episode 15, and I'm going to be doing an updated, some updated science that goes along with human beings and the way that we make choices, because that's what it's about. It is about how human beings make decisions. The Power of Three. Episode 15. That is one of the most referred. I'm always saying, go listen to this. Go listen to The Power of Three. Go listen to episode 15. Another one that I did just last fall, I think, was on your elevator pitch. It was either last fall or the fall before that, but it's about your elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch is not supposed to give people all the information about you. It's supposed to be like the headline in the newspaper, the headline, the title of the article in the magazine. It's to intrigue you so that you get permission, meaning the person who asked you, they ask you a question after they hear the headline. And so it provokes a little bit more conversation. So that one on elevator pitches and introducing yourself is also a very popular episode. The one that I recently did, which was 196 on handling objections with your speech through storytelling. And that got a lot of downloads. Obviously, people are very interested in handling objections without actually saying anything about the objection. So that's the beauty of storytelling and being able to, when you're the speaker, you tell a story and you always share what the lesson is for the audience. We never assume that the audience is going to get what the lesson is. We want to basically draw a line from A to B for them. And another one that got a lot of downloads, and I really, really enjoyed this one, is really around speaker mindset and the speaker persona. That's episode 188. And that was a very popular episode also, because a lot of times people say to me, I can't believe that you used to be a shy girl. How does that, most people don't believe me, but I taught my nervous system new tricks. I have a different speaker persona now than I did when I first started or even before I started speaking. I thought I was too shy. Then there was the time when I started doing some speaking, but I kept my personality to myself. So I was very stiff. I wore the suit because I was talking about a very serious topic. And now things are very different. As a matter of fact, I got a compliment last night on an IG Live that I did. And I actually asked, I said, why is it that can you just explain why you think I do a really great job at IG Lives? And she said, you just get really into it. She goes, you're into it. You're into your guests. And I am so present in the moment, even right now as I'm recording this. I get really into it. And so that's part of my speaker persona now, because I want you to feel my energy. So that's episode 188. And I would have to say that one of the most fun interviews I've ever done was recently with Celia Reyes. And this is a woman that I would be friends with her. If I could go back to my childhood, she would be the person that I wished lived in my neighborhood. You have to go listen to the episode. It was just the way that she thinks, and she went after her dreams and her goals. Just as a young girl, she was constantly problem solving. Like, here's something, I want to take ballet lessons. So she figured out how she was going to make the money to pay for her own ballet lessons. And when she finally did all that, it's a funny story, but because she was underage, they needed a guardian or a parent to sign the papers for her to take the lesson. And that's when they called her mother, and she's like, well, what? And she didn't even know what clothing that she had to have. I mean, she just kind of goes after what she wants. So I just think she's just the kind of woman that I would have loved to have had as a friend. But I would definitely go listen to that episode. That was a recent one. And that has gotten a lot of downloads as well. So there you have it. Some very big changes are coming to Be in Demand. You might even notice a graphic is changing. There's a lot of information that's over on the website at podcast.speakandstandout.com. And thank you so much for being here for episode 200. I can hardly wait for us to celebrate episode 400, which obviously is going to happen twice as fast now that there are 2 episodes per week. And all the show notes and all the links so that you can submit your question for a future Q&A call, so that you can join one of the community calls. That link's going to be down below. And if you want to snag one of those speaker breakthrough sessions, do that down below. You're going to get some great coaching. You're going to walk away from the episode with real strategies that you can implement right away. And you're going to find out, where are you leaving money on the table? That's right. So whether you are new to speaking, or you've never spoken before, or you've been speaking a while, or it's something that you're thinking about doing, or you did it before, you haven't been doing it for a little while, or for this business, you're the right person for this. So go fill out the application, and I will be so excited to meet you and talk and dive in to your business and help you get in front of the right audiences. So thank you very much. And if you are still listening, and I would love to know, what was your favorite episode? If you would take a screenshot of that, maybe put it on social, tag me on Instagram, and that would be so much fun to actually see what your favorite episodes have been. And I'm going to be picking some winners, and you're going to be getting some either some swag for Be in Demand, or maybe some Starbucks gift cards so that you can go have a cup of coffee or 2 on me. So till next time, I want you to be in demand and be on the lookout for the second episode. That's 201. That's coming out in just a few days. Are you tired of hearing crickets on social media? Wondering where to get seen by the right people? Or frustrated with the growth of your business? Then the Speaker Breakthrough Session is just for you. During this free 20-minute discovery call, I'll help you recognize where you're leaving money and opportunity on the table. You'll walk away with tips and a strategy to leverage speaking opportunities to get positioned as the expert, visible to the right people, and monetize your expertise. Book your call at speakandstandout.com/SBS for Speaker Breakthrough Session.